Hello and welcome to the Wind Up, the weekly RuCap podcast, where I, Shaun Philip Naylor, and the always glamorous Miss Microphone recap the latest episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under for you. Remember that you can keep up to date with all things Wind Up related over on our Instagram at the windup_pod, and you can keep up to date with this Kardashian on the gram at microphone with an F, not a PH, because PH is crapone. I got it right this week. And you can keep up with me at Shaun Philip Official. Now, I bet you guys are wondering what we're doing here this week, seeing as Drag Race Down Under has officially named its queen and disappeared for another year. You guys didn't think you'd get rid of us that easy, did you? Maya,
Too fucking bad if you did.
Maya, what are we doing here?
So this week is just a quick little short episode. It's not going to be as long as the others because, we hope. We'll see what happens because we tend to talk a lot. But we're just recapping our overall thoughts on this season. So going from what we thought of the casting of the queens to the lip syncs to the challenges to the overall winner, comparison to what we thought based on season 1 and what we hope for season 3. Originally, we were hoping to get an exclusive interview with both our first out queen Faux Fur and our winner Spanky Jackson. Sadly, neither were available. However, watch this space because both have touched base with us saying that they are interested. So we hope to bring you those at a later date.
I'm good at stalking people and harassing them until they block me. I'm coming for you, Spanky.
It's also not the end of the wind up. So this might be our final episode for this little section, but we will be going monthly, going to just general chat about, it may not be the wind up of Drag Race, it'll just be the wind up of recent events. General chats, just exciting stuff that we decide to chat about on a monthly podcast.
Right.
Leading up to the next iteration of Drag Race that we will be winding up.
Okay, so...
What are you drinking tonight?
Well, Miss
Are you
Maya,
not drinking?
I'm feeling blue because...
Am I...
No, you don't, honey. You're never drinking alone. I'm feeling really blue because the wind up is winding up for a little bit. I'm in my blue t-shirt. I'll say Disney because I'm gay. I have a blue light and I have a blue drink.
Oh, what are we drinking?
It is a gin and tonic, but you can't really see, but the gin has glitter in it. I felt it was appropriate.
Oh, right. What's it called?
I can't remember.
See, I'm drinking Kylie Rosé.
Oh, good girl. Paying homage to last week. Still waiting for that sponsorship, Kylie.
Kylie wine. It is delicious and for the gays. Well, for everyone.
What were your, I guess, overall thoughts of season 2 of Down Under?
So I thought, obviously, granted, unless it was going to be an absolute shit show, it was going to be an improvement on season 1.
True.
While I didn't think season 1 was that bad, because I take it to face value and with a grain of salt. Like season 1 of the US was horrendous. Season 1 of the UK was still a little bit of a train wreck. Season 1 of Canada was fairly bad. Like the season 1 of everything is always going to be comparatively bad because they're still figuring things out. They're learning what they can and can't do. They're learning what little things they need to change for production, etc.
They're learning how far they can stretch that budget.
That too. But comparative to season 2, season 1 was a train wreck. Season 2, obviously improvement. I was happy with the range of queens that was chosen. I thought the challenges left a lot to be desired. I mean, let's not talk about...
One more for the road. Do it.
Cage Queens. And boobs and buddies. So I thought the challenges left a lot to be desired. They could obviously change those to season 3. They can also up the cast by adding me.
She's right here, guys. She's got not much going on.
Hey, hey,
I
hey! I
mean,
resemble that comment.
you are booked for your cruise ship next year again, and
I am, yes. I mean, I've got gigs left, right, and center, but not frequent enough to warrant me saying no to Drag Race. I mean, I'll turn gigs down if it means I get on Drag Race. Um, I'll happily block off January, February, and March, whenever filming is, and be like, guys, no, not available. But
let's
I think
hope you win, because
overall,
otherwise you'll come back poor.
I can't get any poorer than I am now.
Oh my God, tell
Um,
me about it.
but yeah, season 2 was definitely a step up from season 1. What were your overall thoughts?
I agree. Particularly your comment about the range of queens. I liked. I know I said at the start of recording the show that it took a while for me to warm to any of the queens. What happened there?
No, just lightning struck.
Ah, couldn't
So
tell.
obviously there's a storm coming, and just it was a bright flash of lightning, and I was like, "Fuck, that's close."
But yeah, your comment about the I guess the caliber of the queens this year. Um, going from having a seasoned professional like Minnie Cooper to having, um, you know, Hannah Conda, who had the biggest following when she went in, and then you had Queen Cold,
A
who's a legend, and then
a
freaking
more or less baby queen like Aubrey Hay.
that Aubrey Have, who's been doing it for like 3 weeks.
Mm.
I mean, girl knows how to
Um.
put an outfit together. We will say that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like seriously, I think we were robbed of Aubrey from the runways. Um.
Just the runways.
Not the mullet. Um. It's just yeah. No. No. No to the mullet. Like the caliber was, I think, yeah, was the definite standard. I think the Queens made the season.
100%, because the as we said 1,000 times over, the budget was non-existent. Like, we could have done this
What
on a wind
budget?
up budget.
What budget? They didn't have a budget. They had a bucket of wheat bix and a cereal box. Um, I, it's just Stan really needs to throw more money at this show. I mean, it's proven that it's going to make money. Like, throw the money back at it.
Exactly.
Like,
um
produce a better. Sorry, I'm just going to keep doing that every time the lightning strikes. Produce a better quality show by throwing more money at it, and you will reap that money back.
exactly. All the glitter has gone to the bottom of my drink.
Oh, the glitter on the bottom. Really,
Yeah.
really, really,
Mm,
really,
mm, mm.
really.
Also, talking about the show and I guess overall thoughts, it would have been nice to have more than two guests in the studio, like judges.
100%. Like that's what I mean. Like they can throw the money at these celebrities to coerce them to come on the show. We need to have like this is the reason why the rest of the world, and I've read the comments, the rest of the world chooses to not watch Down Under because it clearly shows that the same love and care that goes into the UK and the US is not given to us Down Under. Like, give us celebrity guest judges on the panel. Like, the UK version, for example,
Oh,
they can
Joanna Lumley was there this week.
they can win no money in each episode, and the winner can win no money because it's on the BBC. So it's all paid for by the public. But they can still afford to pay celebrities to come on and be the guest judges for each episode. Whereas we're on a streaming service that makes a shit ton of money every year from people paying monthly subscriptions, and yet they can't afford to pay celebrities to be in studio to guest judge each episode. I find that hard to believe.
Particularly when you look at Stan and they produce fairly decent,
Yeah.
like Australian TV dramas and Australian
And I
TV
mean,
content, yet they somehow
cons-
just forget about us gays. Hmm.
but considering as well that RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under is a joint production between Stan and World of Wonder. And World of Wonder has a shit ton of money. So a combined effort between Stan and World of Wonder to up the caliber of the show and bring in the guests every week to have them on the panel judging the girls would just elevate the show to the next level that we need it to be to get people around the world watching to make sure that our girls get as much recognition as the rest of them. Like, I look at tours of all the Drag Race queens, and very rarely do you see any Australian queen, apart from Art Simone, involved in any of them. Down Under, they really need to throw the money behind it to up the caliber to make the rest of the world take notice of the fact that we have, in reality, I find we have some of the highest caliber of drag performers in the world. And
And
the reason I say that is because our girls don't perform for tips. The rest of the world, they perform for tips. Like, you watch American Queens, you watch any American Queen perform a number, they spend 90% of that number grabbing money off the patrons because the venues don't pay them, they perform for tips. Whereas Australian Queens, we're paid by the venues, so we can put on phenomenal numbers because our focus is not on grabbing money off the patrons. Our focus is on performing and entertaining. Like, we've got some of the highest caliber of drag in the world, but the rest of the world don't see it because we're given a show that lacks that same quality and production that we can put on.
and you think, based on what Australia did for drag in terms of Hello Priscilla, like
Mm-hmm.
you would think, particularly World of Wonder and
Dame
RuPaul
Edna.
would want to be giving Australia a little bit more money to showcase what we can do, because we can do it.
I think it also comes down to the fact that they're still tepid and worried that they're going to lose out on so much money from throwing more money at it. But you've got to take the fucking risk to
I
make that
mean,
money.
where is the risk if you look at how many shows World of Wonder produces on a yearly basis? Like, Drag Race
Mm-hmm.
has its own season. So what if you like throwing money into Down Under to create the same level of quality content that you're putting out for the
Mm-hmm.
rest of the world? Who cares if they're not your cash cow? Because Drag Race US is the cash cow, and then UK is doing
And
really well, and you know,
Canada does well. All the international seasons do well. Like, you've got so many iterations of Drag Race now that you're bringing in money from left, right, center. Like, you can afford to, especially considering we're one of the only three franchises to be actually hosted by RuPaul. You would think that they should throw enough money at us to be able to produce a higher quality and caliber of. That was a very big flash of lightning. You'd think they could throw enough money at us to produce a higher caliber of TV show, considering we're one of the only three hosted by RuPaul, to produce a better quality TV show. Like, I love Drag Race. Like, I've been watching Drag Race since the very first season. And I mean, granted, yes, I've said multiple times, I only watch the English speaking ones because tone and humor and nuance are all lost in translation and with subtitles. I watch the runways of all the other seasons. I just don't watch the rest of the episode. But again, I've watched all of the English speaking ones, and I think we have a strong contender, especially with our caliber of queens, to make one of the best seasons around if they throw enough money at it. Like, take the chance on the Down Under Queens because we can produce high quality entertainment.
now talking about caliber of queens, let's just take a quick dive into the queens that were on the show. Give me like your favorite, your highlights, your least likes. Like,
Okay,
give me a rundown of your queens.
so going into the first episode, I was expecting High Things of Mini Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting High Things of Mini Cooper, High Things of Queen Kong, and Hanaconda. I expected those three to be the top three from the get go. I was right with two of them. I was expecting Faux, Spanky, and Aubrey to be first three out. I was right with two of them. Um, the rest of the queens fall in the middle. Didn't really care where they fell because I was like, yeah, that's okay. They're in the middle of the pack. and that was just based off first impressions. Come the end of the season, I'd done a complete 180 on Spanky Jackson. Had done a complete 180 on Mini Cooper, based on, obviously, not in person, just based on the TV show. Just what was presented to us on the TV show. I was just not a fan of what I saw. But again, I've not seen Minnie in years, so I would love to interact with Minnie again in person, because I had such a great time the one time that we performed together. I would love to get the chance to do that again. But yeah, based on what they presented on the show, again, a lot comes down to editing, but they didn't edit Minnie in a great light. So it caused me to do a 180 on Minnie. But yeah, I thought I had a distinct top three and distinct bottom three going into the first episode, and come the last episode, I was right on two of them in both, and the third one surprised me at each time.
Never a surprise when that happens. Never a surprise. I'm always expecting it.
It's not a surprise, it's just disappointing.
Oh, it's a delight. What are you talking about?
Well, as we said, microphone burps the blues.
I can't wait for you to release that. Speaking of Queens releasing albums, did you hear Mariah's grunge album is finally coming out?
As part of Chic or Le Chic or whatever it's called, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. All I saw is it's coming out.
Yeah, so back in the 90s, or the late 90s, when she was going through a rough time, she did a grunge album, and I believe it was called Chic, the band, CHIC, Chic, because I got her memoir and I remember reading about it. Of course, I have a memoir.
Drink went down way too quickly.
Like me.
Oh, look, he's made a visit.
Indiscriminate hand.
He's back.
Hello. I've seen where those fingers go.
You have?
No, but I was just hoping that we get a reaction out of the hand.
I think the hand has let a dog in. I have a very scared dog.
Oh, which one?
Dylan,
Which
the
one?
blonde one. He's terrified of storms.
The one that was barking at me for no reason after he was like confused and like loving me, and then went, oh wait, hang on, no, I don't love you.
That's the one. I'm trying to get him out. Dylan, go away. Go. Go. Go with other dad. Go.
Other dad.
Spare dad.
Okay, so we've done overall thoughts of the entire season. So what did you think of the lip syncs from this season? Thoughts on the lip syncs.
That's my review.
Thoughts on the song choices, thoughts on the the overall performances of each song.
Love Kylie Minogue, but I do feel like I have to send a memo out to Ru saying we do have other gay icons in Australia. Danny, no. But
no. Danny has some amazing songs. I mean,
All I Want to Do.
Well, I mean, All I Want to Do, Put the Needle on It.
Oh, yes.
Her Don't Want to Lose This Groove. That's the Don't Want to Lose This Feeling with Into the Groove interpolation.
Oh, it's somewhere on the outtakes of one. I think it was an Excuse Me episode. We've got you doing the Who Do You Love Now.
Yeah, that as well. Who Do You Love? Yep. Like, Danny's got some amazing. You may not like Danny personally, but she's got some amazing songs.
The irony is, I actually really do like Danny. It's just a fun joke. Danny, no.
Danny's the joke.
I would have loved to have seen a little bit more variety in the song choices. Like, what did we have? We had a couple of Ru's. Well, they got her on the show. They could have at least put one of her songs in there. Like, Wings is great.
An Olivia Newton-John song.
Yeah, a Delta Goodrem song.
A Vanessa Amorosi. I mean, we had one last season, but we're going to have a Vanessa Amorosi. Could have had a Jessica Malboy song.
Yeah.
Tina Arena. I mean, we had that shitty one, but a proper Tina Arena song.
Yeah, not a remix. Natalie Bassingthwaite.
Yeah. Natalie Imbruglia.
Rogue Traders. And yes, see, I still think what we discussed the other week.
Torn.
Not Torn. Mistake. Big Mistake would be an amazing lip sync song.
Yep. I also, when I watched that back, I was like, you can tell I'm drunk because of the way that I'm singing and the look in my eyes as I'm doing the crawling. Um, other odd Bachelor Girl, Buses and Trains,
Yes. Like Killing Heidi. We've got so many good.
Killing Heidi, Sister Sister or
Yeah.
Sister Two Sister.
They're making a comeback, apparently.
They are Veronica's. I mean, they've got a plethora of Veronica songs they could choose from. Like there's so many Aussie artists that you could choose from. That I mean, Casey Chambers, Christine Anu.
Well, what did we? I'm looking at my makeup. It's all smudged. Um, like we had three featuring Kylie. We had a
Wait, did we?
Divinals song.
And we had
Yeah, we
Starstruck.
opened. They did Starstruck.
Wow.
Wow, and we opened with Get Out of My Way,
That's right. Yeah, we did have we had three Kylie songs. Yeah,
which don't get me wrong. Obviously, we love Kylie, and we're still waiting for that sponsorship.
yeah,
But
phenomenal.
Kylie Wine, phenomenal.
Ding. Um, yeah, I just thought the lip sync choice. I mean, as we've discussed previously, I'm not a big fan of Ru's latest music, so I didn't think doing the beginning for lip sync was the best choice. Um, I wasn't a fan of. Oh, I'm trying to remember all the lip syncs now. So we started with "Get Out of My Way," then we did
Divinals. I touch myself.
"Touch Myself," then we did. It was Pamara and Beverly. What did they lip sync to? Starstruck.
Yes.
Then it was Dance in the Dark because it was Beverly and Mitting.
Yeah.
And then it was Yuri and Molly.
That
That
was
was
Chains.
Chains, the horrible remix. And then Beverly and Queen, which was Rue, the beginning.
Yeah.
Then Molly and Hannah, which was no, yeah, Molly and Hannah, which was
Oh my God, what was it?
Molly and Hannah. What did they do?
It was when she was dressed as the Shakespeare sisters.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember. That shows how memorable that lip sync was. I can't even remember what the song was.
Oh my God, it was Steps, Heartbreak in the City with Michelle
Mm.
Visage.
Steps and Michelle. Yep,
Man, you
yep,
would
yep,
have
yep,
thought
yep, yep,
I
yep,
would have
yep.
remembered that.
Yep, because they're your favorite band or artist. You wouldn't call them a band.
Pop group.
Pop group, that's right. But yeah, they've the song choices. I mean, we had three Kylie songs. Granted, yes, we love Kylie, but you could have replaced two of them with two other Aussie artists. What did you think overall of the challenges?
Um, See, I think with the challenges, I don't think the challenges themselves are necessarily bad. I think given the right combination of queens and chemistry, some of those challenges could have actually been much, much better. But with what was presented, when it comes down to production value again, like the backdrops in Caged Queens, that sort of thing was shit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they obviously know that their storyline for the acting challenge is shit because they poked fun in it. Like it was just, it was subpar. I think I
They were trying to be tongue in cheek, but deliberate tongue in cheek instead of being like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like, yeah, look, this is down under humor. It was being like, this is what we think down under humor is. You're gonna like this because this is what we're telling you down under humor is, but it's
mm,
not down under humor. Like the Cage Queen sketch was abysmal. It was abysmal. It was
was
her.
again. I feel so bad for you because you were so excited for the acting challenge,
It was a
and then
and then
you were so
fucking bosom.
excited for the girl group
Oh,
challenge.
Bosom Buddies is the most atrocious piece of shit garbage song they've ever given any contestants on Drag Race. Like ugh. It, it, it's on. It's. I can't tell you which is worse. It's on par with being the worst Ru song with "Who Is She." Like bosom buddies and who is she? I'd like on par with being atrocious pieces of garbage.
At least, and I don't know if this actually works in its favor or not, but at least Bosom Buddies is catchy.
In the worst way, it's catchy like catching a fucking STI.
I was singing it for days and I did want to blow my head off again, like put a gun in my mouth and pull
Yeah,
the trigger.
yeah. It's like catching an STI and you've got the fucking itchy crotch and you're like, fuck, I caught something. Like it's not catchy in a good way. Like, bosom buddies and who is she? Just atrocious pieces of crap.
So what
Um,
was your favorite challenge of the season?
Either the makeover challenge or the brunch.
I, f-
Makeover or brunch.
I forgot about the brunch. I like the
Makeover,
brunch.
yeah, makeover or brunch were probably my two favorite challenges this season. Snatch Game wasn't as bad as last season. Well,
Give
wasn't
me
as
one
bad.
more Liza Minnelli.
um, I mean, last season's Snatch Game was edited really badly. Um, this season's Snatch Game was slightly better. I mean, still not edited the best. Um, but I do think the worst thing for us as Down Under Queens is our humor doesn't translate well to a international audience.
Let me tell
So
you how Orville Peck was translated.
are you going to
One.
leave again?
No, because I'm feeling a bit bloated. I don't want to stand up.
No, but like our Down Under humor is not translated well to an international audience. So I feel Snatch Game is always going to be our biggest letdown because for what we think is humorous, the rest of the world will not. Like, and it shows because even the producers of the show, because they will be mostly American, considering it's a combination of Stan and World of Wonder and RuPaul himself, they will not understand a lot of our Aussie humor and won't get the nuances and the jokes that we're making. So it falls flat for an international audience.
Also, when we have references to not so much that we didn't they didn't really do it this time around, but like when you had Art Simone being Bindi Owen. Bindi Owen is very famous here in Australia. Outside of Australia, not so much. Like people know who she is, but no one really cares.
Yeah. But I think the same goes for example, season one, Maxi Shield doing Magda Sabansky
Yeah.
um,
Like
as
UK would have got
Lynn from
it
Fast
because,
Forward.
see, here's the thing: UK would have loved it if she did Magda as Sharon from Kath and Kim, because that
Well,
went
no, but
off in the
see,
UK. But to
I
do,
was I was disappointed, especially with season one, that I mean they didn't show it, so they could have cut it easily. But Maxi doing Lynn from Fast Forward, and not a single time did she go, I said pet, I said love, I said pet, I said doll, I said, and then whatever, and goes, well, that's what you get for Karen. Like, that would have killed for a down under audience because we all know that character. We know someone that is that character. But this season in particular, like none of the celebrities chosen were Australian.
no, I feel like that may have been intentional. Well, other than Barry Humphries.
Oh, Dame Edna, yeah, 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 Dame Edna. I mean, well, she's an Australian icon, but isn't Barry Humphries actually British?
Isn't everyone in Australia, other than the Indigenous population, actually British?
I'm I'm more meaning isn't Barry Humphries legitimately born in England?
I have no
Um,
idea, but he's problematic. So if he was, we don't want him. We have enough problematic people over there. Like, you can keep
we'll
this
just
one, please.
give him to New Zealand. We take enough good stuff. We'll give them the bad. Um,
That's it. Like, we've got J.K. Rowling and we're still dealing with that. So you can keep Barry
you can keep that thing.
and Rolf. You can
Um,
keep Rolf.
time it kangaroo down. Sport means a whole new thing now.
Doesn't it?
Dharma who? Oh no, because Rolf didn't eat them. He just touch them. Um, Allegedly. So, all right. Well, we've discussed the lip syncs. We've discussed the challenges. We've discussed the overall season.
I got it. Best and worst outfit look of the season.
Oh, okay. Well, hands down, worst is Spanky Jackson's like constructed outfit on season one, episode one. I mean, yes, Fofo went home, but Spanky's outfit was worse.
But it's
Um,
iconic now.
in an ironic way,
Ironic, iconic,
isn't it iconic? Don't you think?
isn't
No.
it? No.
Um, best. I mean, I've already said it before. Best dressed was Hannah Condor Moth, hands down.
Yeah, look, I feel like I have to agree with you on one of those.
Spanky. I feel like you're going to tell me a different one for best dressed.
No, I think I'm gonna have to go with Hannah for best dressed.
Oh
Like
yeah,
as the moth. I think that was just when she came out, it was
it was
breathtaking.
it was glamorous, it was regal, it was eclectic, it was
But it was also
irreverent,
like
it
it
was
was mafia mother, like it was so many
it's
things.
never been done before. It was like just breathtakingly beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to agree with you there. For me, worst look of the season, and I'm saying out of everything our queen's dressed up as, Orville Peck. I know it was only a snatch game, but it was just like she could have done so much. She could have gone real sexy. She could have gone,
Drag her.
oh, like she's just that. She. I said it once. I'll say it again. She ruins everything she touches.
So Shaun, Shaun, in
Mm,
15 words or less, tell me how much you hate Molly Poppins.
there are no words.
Oh fuck.
I've never hated someone so much. It's not true. Like I don't, again, just to clarify, don't hate Molly Poppins. There's always a villain of the season, and she was my villain.
Shaun hates Molly Poppins. Let's not mince words here. Shaun hates Molly Poppins. He loathes her entirely.
I liked her fairy bread shirt.
Oh fuck.
She's fine. She just needs to put some lenses in her glasses,
Someone
get rid of the
someone
mullet.
someone is going to happen to show this to her, and it's just going to be a case of all she's going to see is just me being like, Shaun, why do you hate Molly Poppins? And you just being like, well, I hate this and I hate this and I hate this. And she ruined Orville Peck.
She she did. You can no longer have sexual fantasies about Orville Peck.
Well, I mean, you can. That's just how you finish when you want to come.
That's not going to make me come.
Well, no, sorry, let me rephrase. That's just what you do when you're not ready to come. You're like, I'm not ready yet. And you just go, oh yeah, no, cool. Now I've got another 15 minutes.
Now I've got another 3 weeks.
3 weeks, fuck, your balls will be sore. Um, what were your overall thoughts of our final three? Do you think that was the right final three? Did you picture a different final three? Were you happy with the final three? Were you happy with the winner?
Initially, I did not think that Spanky would have got to that final three. I kind of felt like Queen Kong was going to. I felt like she was going to go on a journey this season, and she did. Hanaconda was consistent every single runway. She was flawless, pretty much. Like you couldn't. It was really hard to pick any faults with any of her outfits. Challenge wise and things like, yeah, she had her ups and downs. Spanky, I did not predict to be in that top three. I think, like you, I kind of at the start of it thought Minnie would be there.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I had to think who would have been there outside of Minnie, it would have probably been Yuri or Beverly, based on the queens that
I
were left.
all of a sudden I just sort of flashback to that horrible dance in the dark lip sync.
Things you can't unsee.
Oh,
That
clown
and Orville
nightmares.
Peck.
Drag her. Uh, Um,
But yeah, no.
I agree. I mean, I 100% saw Queen and Hannah as part of the top three from the get go. Again, as I said, I thought Minnie was going to be top three. I do not rate Spanky very high based on first impressions, just from walking to the workroom. I thought she was going to be a filler queen
See,
easily
I
out.
never picked
Like,
her as filler. I thought she'd be entertaining, but I thought based on that first episode,
no,
she'll be out early on.
your filler queen was Pamara.
Yes, and I was correct.
Um, but yeah, I didn't see Spanky get into the top three. But again, each episode, Spanky grew on me. I mean, she was funny, she was endearing, she was charming. I was grateful she made top three. Going into the finale episode, did I think she was going to win? No, I
Hmm.
thought Hannah was taking it out. Um, until that Rue interview when we both realized that Hannah lost because she fucked herself over by not
Hannah,
having a
she had a lovely childhood. The worst thing you
which
can do as a drag queen.
ruined her chances of winning.
Don't ever
Um,
tell them that you have supportive family.
no, your family hate you. They want to kill you. Um,
When you get on that show, just forewarn your parents that you're gonna paint a terrible picture of them.
cut back in. I think overall, I was happy Spanky won. I thought she deserved it. 100% by the end of the season, I thought she earned it, except for that finale dress.
I mean, she did look lovely, but yes, like in terms of the costuming for the finale, the other two girls definitely had the edge over Spanky. I think it was down to Spanky's interview, and also I think, she did grow. She put on some tights, and she she was backstage, she was lovely to everyone. Like,
I love watching back the first episode where I just keep going, "Sir, you're a man."
yes.
To then the
And
finale, to then the semi-finale episode where they're going, Spanky Jackson is a man. Um, thank grocery.
here's a question. Do we think she had tights on under that dress?
No,
No, she came out with no tights, and she was winning with no tights.
yeah. And lopsided boobs. Um, East and West. Um, but overall for the season, I thought this was a better showing than season one. I mean, it wasn't as much problematic queens as we had in season one with the racists. Um,
They did push us there a little bit with some cultural appropriation.
I did think that conversation with Hannah could have been a little bit more intense, considering as well that, I mean, granted, yes, when they had the conversation, there was no Asian queen present because Fo had already gone home.
Hmm.
But they had a conversation with Hannah, who was appropriating Asian culture, not Indigenous culture, in her performances. And she had that conversation with Queen Kong, who was of Indigenous descent. So I'm glad they touched on it, but I feel like they actually could have addressed it a little bit more, especially if there was a queen of Asian descent left to fully discuss it. Because while, yes, it's good that a First Nations descent person such as Queen Kong was discussing it with Hannah, it's not the culture that Hannah was mocking back in the
Yeah.
day. So, I mean, it would have been better for this type of conversation with someone like Scarlett Adams from season one, considering that's what she was doing, whereas Hannah was openly mocking Asian descent culture, as opposed to First Nations culture. So it would have been better to have this conversation with a person of Asian descent rather than First Nations descent.
I agree. So let's wrap this little section up, I think.
Okay, so just last little bit. I mean, we've obviously discussed most of the show. Granted, yes, there was only two people live in the fucking studio, but what were your thoughts on the guests for this season?
Um, yes, very much would have liked to have had all the guests that they had present in the studio. I think it was nice to see um what's Sam's last name? Shoot, she gave us the video message. It was Indigenous model.
Oh, is Samantha Harris? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was really nice to, to have somebody like her on the show, but it would have been nice to actually
Mm-hmm.
have her on the show.
Same with Delta, same with Sophie Monk.
Definitely. I would have loved to have seen a Delta, sitting behind that judge's desk, making a comment or two when they're doing the runway.
Especially for the musical challenges, like the singing challenges, either the girl group or the finale one, using either Sophie Monk or Delta for those challenges.
I mean, you could
Should have
probably
been.
just use Delta, Sophie. No.
I mean, Sophie for the girl group. But even still, like, again, like bringing them in. Oh my God, Daddy could have used Daddy for the acting challenge. Like,
I mean, I could use him right now.
I just keep replaying that whole "Who's your daddy?" wink and just going.
I was so happy
all.
when I found a tiny video of it that I was allowed to publish, and I was like, yes.
Oh God, just fucking sploosh. Yeah, I think they could have utilized the guests a lot better. As I've said the entire season, throw more money, get them in the studio, get them as guest judges. Because not only that, but it also showcases our down under talent, as in celebrity wise. Because I mean, fuck, they'll never get Nicole Kidman, but fuck, could you imagine if they got Nicole Kidman as a guest judge?
I mean, how many times did we say, oh, they must be saving the budget for a good guest? I fucking saw Chris Hemsworth was going to come and play, but no.
I mean, no, he would never do the show, but 100%, even Liam Hemsworth, like, get one of the Hemsworths.
Even Luke, get the cheap one.
But no one knows who he is.
He was just in the new Thor movie. He played
Was
Thor.
I didn't see
He played actor Thor.
Oh, I didn't see the new Thor movie yet. But even still, get Gina Riley and Jane Turner. Like,
yes.
100% get them on the actual show. Get Magda Stabansky on the actual show. Get Naomi Watts. Get Tony Collette.
Guy Pearce. He just showed up for
Guy
Neighbors.
Pearce. I can get Kylie live action. Like, there's so many. You could act Hugo Weaving. Get whoever played the original Bernadette. I can't remember his name. Like, get these people on the show. Like, throw money at them. Get them on the show. Get them actually in the studio as guest judges, and it will build the profile, make the show more
like
not just sustainable, but more. It'll get the show taken more seriously.
Yeah, like I understood last year when there were video messages because COVID.
100%.
This year, still doing video messages, like I can almost kind of go, okay, I understand Delta Goodrem because she was on tour in America with the Backstreet Boys at the time. So that makes sense that she came in to do the video. But Sophie Monk, she doesn't do anything.
Yep. I mean,
like
again,
she would have loved a trip to the New Zealand to go sit in a studio.
Samantha Harris, you could have easily had her in the studio. Who else did they have video message?
The chick from Anastasia Beverly Hills.
Yeah, no, she wouldn't. She wouldn't have.
No, she wouldn't have been coming here.
Daddy could have.
Yeah. Was that it? And we had a couple of video messages from Ru, and she was in the studio, and she still phoned it in too.
Yeah, that was it. We didn't have many guest stars. Oh, the Irwins. Easily, you could have flown the Irwins over. Irwins could have flown over and been the guest judges for that episode.
Yeah.
Like, it was, yeah, disappointing. So that's the only way our season and our iteration of the franchise is going to be taken seriously, is for them to throw enough money to actually have these celebrity guest judges in the studio as guest judges in person, to make the rest of the world go, oh, okay, yep, sweet. We know exactly who that person is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they're on the show. Yep, we'll watch it.
Now, in terms of all of our queens, I think I was really happy to meet all of our queens. I don't think anybody other than Awful Peck was too problematic.
Yeah, I thought
everyone was quite nice and they were pleasant.
except for the constant dramas between Minnie and the younger queens.
But I feel like
Um,
that really wasn't a drama. I feel like that was just they had nothing to work with to in terms of editing the drama. That
See, I think that's
they
because
bigged it up
Down
more
Under.
than it needed to be.
I think that's because Down Under Queens, we're so used to. We don't. I mean, there is a lot of drama. There is, especially speaking from experience on this Gold Coast scene. There is a lot of drama. Um, but I think it's because Down Under Queens, we don't play up on it, as in like we're not the type to play up on drama for the camera. We're the type that we'll discuss it, we'll squash it, we'll move on because you know what, fuck it, we don't keep it fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think we're the type of queens to play it up on camera. Whereas, for example, the US queens, they know they're on a reality TV show. They know they're going to get further if they play it up, so they play it up. Um, that being said, would I 100% play up drama if I was on the show? Absolutely. I'm a I would 100%. If I had drama of the queen, I would make sure that stuff lasted for 4 episodes if I could.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't
yeah,
don't send me home yet. There's more up my sleeve.
absolutely. So I just think our season could benefit from a little bit more budget, a little bit more care and finesse from the producers. And then I think in all honesty, we do have some gold on our hands. But I guess time will tell with season three.
Time will tell with season 3. And what are you expecting from season 3?
Me.
Mm, just you. Just you. You're
Just
there.
that's it. That's it. Me.
That's it. She enters the workroom. No one else
I'm not
enters. She wins
I'm
by
not
default.
I'm not telling you my entrance line because obviously that's gonna be saved for the workroom. But
Of
no,
course.
me. You watch. You'll be like, oh, we got a film, and I'll be like, oh, I'm sick for 8 weeks.
Now, I'm going to wrap us up and I'm going to say that that is all for this incarnation of the wind up. It has been so much fun going on this little podcast journey with you, Miss Maya.
It's been so
And
much fun with joining, like doing this and joining with you to film this and record this little adventure that we've gone on.
it's been quite the
Drunken
adventure.
adventure.
Oh, many drinks have been had. Um,
We've been good tonight. Only
we've
one
been
each.
very well. I've had two, plus the one I had
I
before
mean,
when I was
I
waiting
mean
for you to get in
this.
here.
I mean, this was billed as a double, and I did have two double margaritas and a margarita and a shot at trivia.
There she is. Um, and so I guess we should say a big thank you to all of the people who tuned into the show.
Thank you for listening, everyone, and watching and
Yes,
tuning in and enjoying um, these. Um, but also
enjoying these
gifts.
breasts and gaseous
These
clay.
gifts. Fuck off. Guess this clay is not a thing. Um, enjoying these gifts that we've been giving you. This enjoyment. This entertainment. This nonsensical drivel of bullshit that we've been giving you each and every week.
To the 722 people that randomly watched one video of ours one day, thank you. That was very strange.
To the 20 people that have watched every other episode, thank you.
No, there's another one that was like at 200 the other day, and I was like, where? When did this happen? And then no, that's not many, and people will watch this and go, 700, 200, you guys suck. But we don't care because that's not why we do it. We do it because we like
No,
to
but we're
drink and
doing
talk shit.
exactly, we're doing this for the fun for ourselves. So, I mean, one day this might blow up and all of a sudden we have a ridiculous amount of viewers, and that's great. But we're not caring about that right now because we're just caring about doing this for ourselves. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, then don't fucking listen.
Exactly. This was a little bit of an impromptu bit of fun that was born out of our love of Drag Race and how much fun we had together when we did my other podcast. Excuse me, I have something to say, which should be coming back soon. Now that we're going
Which
monthly.
I mean, considering every time I was on your other show, it ended up being a two-part episode because we just got drunk and laughed and talked and just so
I
much
know.
random
Why did
shit.
I ever think this was going to be an easy thing to do with you?
And then the outtakes as well. I love how this season, especially for the wind up, the outtakes have just gotten longer and longer and longer as we go.
It has been a journey. It has been quite a journey. So thank you everybody for joining us on this little journey and coming
I
with us.
I apologize, but I also at the same time I apologize for nothing.
She just
If that makes
apologized.
sense.
She just always apologizes for nothing. But as mentioned at the start of the show, we will be back very soon to bring you more nonsense fueled by the wind up, whatever that looks like. We'll be coming back monthly to talk about things and stuff. And yeah, it's been fun. Don't forget to stay tuned to our Instagram at the windup_pod for all the latest news and information as to when we will be coming back.
You can also follow him at Shaun Phillip Official on Instagram.
That's me. And you can follow her at microphone with an F, not a PH, because with a PH it is, see it with me now, crapone.
Don't forget, you can also follow us on Instagram at the windup_pod.
I did that one already.
No, you didn't say it.
Oh, oops.
No, you just said. You can find us on YouTube to watch the video version. You can also listen to the audio version on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Trust me, we're fun either way. You need to listen to our ASMR voices. Or I still laugh at last week when I'm like, do some ASMR, and you're like, I'm like, I meant the bubbles pouring into the glass, but sure.
Which you couldn't hear anyway.
Or watch the video version where you just get to watch my gorgeous self with my tits and my sweatiness, and then him in his blue and his hair and his Mya shirt and the Will and Grace shirt, and I'm looking like not a slob one week, just in black one week while I'm dressed glamorous, and the following week I'm a man.
Don't forget that you can get all of your wind-up merch and microphone merch.
Yes. Oh, I was going to wear that.
Oh, it would not have fit over those tits.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this, guys, has been the wind-up, and we're obviously going down a hole now. So we will see you in a little while.
Very shortly. Thank you for coming on this journey with us. I've been Microphone.
I've been Shaun Phillip Naylor.
And this has been
The Wind Up.
Wind Up.
Yay! Bye.